American ATACMS and British Storm Shadow are already striking Russia today. The West has finally disregarded Putin's red line. Ukraine is striking Russian territory with Western missiles. The main question is whether the German Taurus will join its American and British counterparts.
I would tell Putin if the bombings of Ukraine do not stop there, the first step will be lifting the range restrictions, and the second step will be the delivery of Taurus missiles.
Speculations about Berlin transferring long-range missiles to Kiev have been ongoing for weeks, months, and even years. But now, following the explosions of Western missiles on Russian territory, Ukraine is closer than ever to a positive conclusion of the prolonged saga with the German Taurus. The Taurus is a state-of-the-art, highly advanced German-Swedish air-to-ground cruise missile. Its development began in 1994 through the joint efforts of two companies, the German Daimler-Benz Aerospace and the Swedish Bofors. 5 years after the start of development in 1999, the missile made its first test flight. In 2004, the Taurus was officially adopted into service in Germany.
It is designed to strike targets, even heavily protected ones, underground with various concrete shelters, right? So that the aircraft does not enter the range of the enemy's anti-aircraft systems. That is, to strike with high precision and at long range.
Essentially, the Taurus is a direct competitor to the Storm Shadow cruise missile. The differences between them are very minor. Both types of weapons can be used very flexibly, but the range of the Taurus is slightly greater. The technical specifications of the Taurus are as follows. The total weight of the missile is 1,400 kilograms, with a warhead of 481. The missile is 5 meters long, with a range of 500 kilometers, and a flight speed of 0.6, 0.9 Mach or 1,000 kilometers per hour. The cost is $1.2 million. The main feature of the German missile is its warhead. A Mephisto concrete penetrating warhead is used to target fortified objectives.
Its warhead consists of two parts and is designed for precision. The first, called tandem, punches a hole into which the second flies and then explodes in the middle.
In this way, the Taurus missiles can penetrate specially fortified concrete positions, command headquarters, bunkers, buildings, and even bridges.
Thus, by penetrating, even if there is a 4-meter wall in the bridge supports, this missile will explode there and simply destroy the bridge support, and the bridge will just collapse. So both parts are too heavy to lift. That is, for example, if used in this way, the Crimean Bridge would face its final execution.
The British Storm Shadow has the same capability. On the morning of November 20th, 2024, Ukrainian Air Force bombers launched at least 10 Storm Shadow cruise missiles at a target in Marino, Kursk region. Given the considerable number of missiles used in this strike, it is evident that the target was important.
Both missiles operate on the same principle. They have an initiating, so to speak, with what's the first half of the warhead, which is actually the cumulative in action. It penetrates the defense, and after that the main warhead flies in, which actually represents itself a high-strength metal projectile, which doesn't contain much explosive.
Ukrainian and Western media report that the armed forces of Ukraine struck a command post from where Russian and possibly North Korean officers were managing a 50,000-strong contingent of Russian and North Korean troops. A record 5 Ukrainian Su-24 bombers were involved in this massive strike, each carrying a pair of precision-guided missiles under its wings. In terms of concrete penetration, the Storm and Taurus cruise missiles significantly outperform their American ballistic counterpart. Therefore, returning to the topic of the potential elimination of the Crimean Bridge, the Ukrainian Defense Forces will use Storm missiles, or, if transferred, Taurus missiles.
Take the Taurus, for example, with a warhead weighing approximately 481 kilograms, of which only 113 kilograms is explosive. But the explosive, those 113 kilograms in total detonated in the confined space of an underground shelter, is almost like a nuclear explosion approximately.
Another significant difference between British and German cruise missiles and American ballistic missiles is the guidance system.
The ATACMS that we received don't even have a GPS system. They are simply launched. They have an inertial system, so it's impossible to position them globally.
In the case of Taurus and Storm Shadow, the cruise missiles have a combined guidance system consisting of 3 subsystems: IBN, image-based navigation; TRN, terrain reference navigation; and MIL GPS, military global positioning system. As the Taurus approaches the target, an infrared homing head is activated, which provides missile control in the final phase of the flight.
ATACMS is difficult to shoot down because it has a high vertical speed. It flies along a ballistic trajectory and has a very high speed in the final stage. And these missiles are hard to shoot down because they fly very low over the ground and perform various maneuvers both in the vertical plane and around various obstacles. They operate in whatever way is most convenient for them.
And here we smoothly approach the most important difference between Western missiles and Russian ones. In the case of Taurus and Storm missiles, an image of the target that the missile must hit is programmed into the missile's computer. If there is a deviation from the course, the target disappears, or there are interferences, the missile does not strike, but self-destructs to avoid accidental civilian casualties. Russian terrorists operate on a different principle.
Russian missiles do not have this. They believe that it will explode somewhere. It should hit somewhere. And as they say, in their view, it's beneficial if something falls on a peaceful city, right? So they aimed at some airfield. Yes, if the missile flies a little further and falls on a peaceful city, they will still rejoice because something is destroyed and some civilians are killed.
In summary, the Taurus is a slightly more modern and upgraded version of the British Storm Shadow. In key aspects, except for the maximum flight range, these cruise missiles are almost identical. But despite this, Ukraine needs the Taurus missiles. In the context of an intense war, quantity matters. And the more suppliers there are, the more missiles Ukraine will simply have.
Germany, auf Deutsch, was very much looking to the USA, as the USA gave such permission. But now, under pressure from the USA, well, I don't expect much pressure from the USA, but indeed from France and the UK, I think Scholz will manage to be persuaded, in fact, to transfer these missiles.
That's all. Don't forget to write in the comments about which types of weapons you would like to learn more about, like this video, and of course subscribe to our new Arsenal channel. The link is in the description below the video.